Okay. All right, I will call the meeting to order at 9:31. First up, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from April 15th?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move on to the financial report, starting with the April financial report.
Okay, the April, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of it for you. The income for April was $121,900, with interest on loans totaling $25,000, bad debt recovery fees $3,900, and income on investments was $90,000, which is much better than last month. Just saying, we did a little rebound, so that's a good thing. Expenses were $44,200, leaving a net income of $77,000 for the month. And the total income for the year is $224,000, and total expenses $136,900, leaving an income of $87,124. And the balance sheet shows accounts receivable at $6,083,921, with investment accounts of $4,338,000, and with the inclusion of long-term lease liabilities, total assets, liabilities, and the equity amount, it brings the equity amount to $10,668,000.
Okay, moving on to the April customer loan report.
So as you know, this loan report, number 5, 616 Luray, is finally paid in full. Sorry, I was very excited when that happened. But,
You don't know how excited you were.
after about, I don't know, a year and a half of getting that. But everything else looks good on it. We did have one fall behind, but GSG, but we were able to get his payments last week. So everything is current.
Congratulations.
Everything current, that's all.
It was.
Good work.
We're
I was
mean.
just really excited about 616 Luray.
I'd say that multiple exclamation points was a clue there.
Typically, it was taken off the customer report, but it needed its moment, so
Yeah.
we kept it there.
So a quick question on
Yep.
profit and loss. The advertising and marketing for $31.50 and then professional fees for $14.9. What were
The
those?
professional fees are the auditors for the audit, and they doing the char 500 and something else. I think there was 3 things that they had under there, which was advertising and marketing.
Was that the website?
Could have been the website.
So that, April,
I would have to actually look that up.
it's probably a mix of, I believe it's a mix of the website and Ally.
Let me look up her real quick and I can tell you. Student cards. P&L. Almost there, promise.
Which, speaking of the website, it is just about done. Finally.
Oh, that was for the photos, photos and the write-ups. That was for the
The
website.
website stuff.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the financial reports?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to committee reports, loan review committee, the card forge, and then why?
So since Marshall isn't here, the loan review committee is recommending approval for a total of $26,000 for the card forge NY, which will be going in the old Ronda Footworks storefront. This was brought to us by Watertown Savings Bank, so it will be in participation with them. And they recommend approval for the 26,000. Watertown Savings Bank is doing the guarantors of all 4, so that is the only change. Because on here, we had only 2 of the owners, that will be switched to all 4 owners. It'll be amortized over 5 years, interest only for the first 3 years,
3 years.
3 months. My brain's not working today. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, any questions on this one?
I guess I do have one quick. It says that year 3 projecting 14 jobs. But the payroll in year 3 is only 70,000. That didn't really seem to
Yeah.
add up.
So it doesn't include their own payroll, but from my understanding, from this, there was a change from the original application to the projections. So there will not be, they're starting out with just the 4 people that are actually owning it. So I don't believe there will be a total of 14. I just never followed, I'll follow back up on that one. Because I think when they started doing the payroll, they realized it was going to be a lot more than.
Can you explain that again? I apologize.
Sure.
What Mike just asked.
So they are the owners are going to be the ones running the store versus hiring people at first.
Well, what are the projections show?
Oh, so the projections were sent after it was set in pieces. So the projections, they redid it afterwards. So there is, the payroll on here showing it would be the staff or the owner's payroll, not the bringing people in, if that makes sense.
Originally, it was 14 projected jobs in year 3.
So probably that was a little bit on
Yeah, because it's something we talked about too originally. We also didn't see how even if they weren't doing it, hiring like people from the outside, 14 people for a card store, in my opinion, would be a lot of. So we were questioning that before, and I meant to follow back up, and I just forgot.
Any other questions?
the, it is contingent on Watertown Savings Bank
Yes.
approvals, which I think they almost have.
And we will, and the reason we're changing the guarantors is because we will be mirroring what Watertown Savings Bank is doing. Because at first, there was a discussion of 2, but then we had more discussion on it, so it will be all 4 owners. And do you know if they have communicated that to them?
They have.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's in process.
perfect.
Okay, is there a motion to approve this?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the law.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to new business. Any new business?
We talk about the space.
Oh, yes. Okay, so one issue we've been having is we don't have an actual archive room and now that the WLDC has grown a lot over the last, I would say 20 years, there's a lot of documents that we have to keep forever. So
Some are just like 6
Yes.
years, but
some are temporary, some we have to keep forever. We do not have enough space in our current space for that. The office across from Joy's office is going to be vacant. So we did want to look into having that as our archive room. But obviously it would change our budget. It's $350 a month, I believe. So I don't know what people's thoughts are on that. It'd also be a room that'd be locked. But again, we went from having a big room in the old office space to now a closet where we're trying to fit everything. And
which is also the
It's-
kitchen.
yeah, it's not
Refrigerator, microwave.
the shred bin, so
Shred
it's
bin.
really not working. We do need more space for the archives, so something to put. I don't know what exactly the process is to get approval, if people would be on board with that. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Thoughts?
Question, what are the requirements for fire protection, for records retention and so on? Are we required to have fireproof cabinets or anything?
I don't think so. You guys don't over there, so. You have a room, but it is,
We have been switching them all from paper, or the cardboard boxes to plastic to prevent if there was like a water damage. Because in the past, at the old office, that did happen where a lot of files were destroyed because of water coming from apartments. So we've made that change.
most everything we have now is digitized. So if there were something that happened, we still have most everything except for the stuff from way back, but.
Yeah.
Can the electronic files serve as your permanent copy or your permanent record?
We've never gotten clarification on that one. And there's some things that with, like, especially the old ones that we've had to keep forever, like even the sizing wise, it's not easy to digitize through what we have. Because maps we have to keep forever, right? Isn't that one of them?
Yeah, there's a list. Peggy got it to me.
Surveys.
She knows.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Because you-
anything to
you
do with
could-
real estate.
Could look in, there are ways to scan and digitize those large maps.
Yeah.
It might be an expense to it, you know, but 8.5 by 11, you can just run through a
Yeah.
scanner, but you could look at, if that was an acceptable way of keeping those records, you could look
Do it
at
that way.
scanning everything and keeping it visually.
And I don't remember the name of the state office, but there is a office from the state, New York State. And sometimes they do have grants.
Yeah, it's the Department of Education that it went through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just food for thought.
Because they got a really big room that's,
Yeah.
then and it paid for the people to come in and go through all the old files, because they
Yeah.
had a lot of old files.
I would say, I know we looked when Joy first started, when we started talking about it, there wasn't a grant, but we haven't checked for in a while, because I would love to get that. To pay for it to all be done.
And that might run through the New York State Consolidated Funding Application process, which should be coming out soon.
Yeah.
Usually those are due in July, so
Okay.
might be
Keep our eye out on it.
an opportunity.
Yeah, because I know uploading everything, it took me like 2.5 years to get through all of the files, and still the really old ones I didn't touch because it took forever.
It's tedious.
There's a
Yes.
lot that comes in with these loans sometimes, so.
Yeah. Sometimes it's really nice little like packet, sometimes it's a lot more, especially if it's real estate, so. But yeah, so I think that was it, just to talk about for new business.
Because I would say, look into some of those options, see whether or not you can store everything electronically. You know, there might be a cost to have that stored somewhere in the cloud or whatever, but it might be cheaper than the $350 a month that you have to
Yeah.
pay in rent.
It might be easier too, like if you're searching for things to look up.
Well, that's
Yeah,
where
I
we
agree.
usually look for things, because digging in there, like, there's no
You can't walk in
way
there.
we can, like, and I usually strain my back every time because I'm old, but, you know, you have to get down to probably the third one down, whatever. And
Yeah.
You know,
I'd say it's all well above how tall I am, so.
I'm 1 year old,
Which doesn't take much.
don't forget it.
I believe there's been some changes in the requirements of what can be stored digitally versus what can be, when you get a hard copy, so you might want to check. and get
We'll
a
go
hard-
to the
I figured you were.
comptroller's office is where we would have to,
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's.
I can call them, 'cause that's easier.
You think it's a change to the better, like you can store more?
I believe that that's the,
I'm assuming it's going that direction.
we had 7 file cabinets in the office that were 6 drawers up and double, 7 of these. And we got rid of all but 2.
Hmm.
So, of course, we would be able to send things to Albany and have it stored there, but for the most part, hard copies, we had copies of copies of copies of copies from the tacky era, so.
So yeah, you definitely find copies of copies going through old files. I noticed that a lot.
All right, if there isn't any other new business, we'll move on to the CEO report. If there's anything you want to highlight, Kylie?
Nothing all that exciting. We are getting ready to do the next like big mugging for Watertown. We did get a $500 sponsorship from Northern Credit Union. So if anybody's organizations would like to participate or sponsor, let me know. So we're going to do that this summer. We just ordered the cups the other day. So we're making progress on that. As I said, 616 Loretta has paid off, which was my most exciting thing. We're getting ready for the downtown block parties, which will be the last Friday in June, July, and August. So those are coming together. I will have 3 JLI days this month. So it's been busy. So yeah, nothing too exciting.
Have any questions on anything in the CEO report? Okay, we'll move on to old business.
Okay, the only thing I have is, last month, a lot of you were not here to get the new board binders that we created, which is like, you got one, right? You got one. Okay, so I think the girls are here.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I'll let Jay have one too.
Marshall didn't get one?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
Huh?
I got one at home.
Oh,
Thank
you did.
I mean, I can
That's great.
steal Marshall's.
Yeah. If you want to do that, yes.
Well, start doing, that's the loan committee.
Oh,
It's a
that's
great,
right. I was like, oh, I had extras for a reason. Okay, that's fine.
Maybe someone else will want one.
it's great, thank you for putting that work in.
That's very
Yeah,
nice.
very nice.
Really nice added
Thank you.
glance.
I will hang on to it.
I'll say, as we're talking about, uploading things, sometimes it is nice, especially with this stuff, to be able to flip through. Especially when it comes to year-end winter, do all this stuff.
Yep.
Okay, any other old business?
I was out of town, but I saw an email regarding the tree house. So it sounds like she got her funding and is getting that kickback, so there's really no worries of additional monies on it.
Nope. Yeah, so that will, she's hoping by the end of the month, this month, the county, I don't know how long the county takes to fund any of that, but I would guess in the next month or 2. She said the end of this month, though.
And those were, I'm sorry,
No,
those were short, fairly short term, right?
Yeah, that loan was for, from the time of closing was a year, so. Yep. And we only even extended it that long because we didn't know how long the state was going to take. Yeah, and she did want to say thank you to everybody because it was really helpful for them to get through that process, was to have the organizations help them, so.
Great. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor? Okay.
So.
Hey, Jay?